And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's topic is my fight with Amazon. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who's supported the company so far. If you haven't got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's MURDY creative.co. Or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching at murdycreative.co to see the best of our product shots. Follow us to keep up to date with our daily photos and be the first one to know about new product launches. You can also use the subscribe button at the bottom of our website to be included in all of our new product announcements. Be sure to check out our laser engraving, personalization options, and exclusive colors on the website, or you can get a blank one on Amazon Prime. Well, like I said before, maybe not. Today has been... They're always like this. Let me rephrase that. I have yet to have an easy day at this job, but that's okay. That's kind of what I signed up for. So in light of the challenges we've had over the last 2 weeks bringing in revenue on our website, I wanted to reinvigorate our old platform on Amazon. We had built the company on Amazon. In the old days, Amazon, like in the first couple of months of this company, Amazon was 90% of our business. We did almost everything on Amazon. We switched about August. That was where we went about 50-50, where it was half of the website business, and then half of it was on Amazon. And then by September, 90% of our business was on our website and 10% was on Amazon. And that was kind of really when we began to really hit our stride from a growth perspective for the next couple of months. And during the Christmas season, it was actually at the end of November, early December, we basically went out of stock of everything on Amazon, which was a big problem because that meant we missed out on a lot of the Christmas season rush where people last minute purchased on Amazon. That was the problem. And at the time, it was because the only two people in the company were Leah and I, and we were already working from 7 in the morning till 11:30 at night every day making books so we could just keep up with the web orders. So it felt like there wasn't a lot of options. In January, we brought on Sarah full-time, and she helped us get back on track with web orders, and we started getting kind of a little bit of inventory back on Amazon, but we've never really been able to get back to our full strength where we have everything in stock on Amazon in enough quantities that we won't run out. That was something we just never really quite got back to. During the really good months, it didn't matter that much, but now that we're back into the bad months, it's definitely been something that has been on my mind. It's been something we've been working towards, and that's where there's a lot of advantages to Amazon. For a little while when you search, well, actually for most of last year, if you search leather binder, our Murdy No. 1 Slim Cut was like the third one down below the top two ads. It was one of the best products. It was very highly rated. It continues to be highly rated. And it was a big seller. It was really quite popular. And that was a good platform for us. We sold a lot on there. And we use fulfillment by Amazon. So that qualifies for Amazon Prime, which means that's the only way you get qualification for Amazon Prime. So we would make a box, or a case, I should say, of 18 of them that were pre-boxed, and we'd send them to Amazon. Amazon would then take the case apart and would ship out the individual boxes to customers the way that you would normally get an Amazon package. And for the most part, that worked out pretty well. One of the things that's a challenge with Amazon is customer returns. A lot of the customer return, when customers ask you, or let me rephrase that. When you send something back to Amazon and you request a refund or a return, and they ask you why, and you give them a reason, that reason really, really matters. Because some reasons, like I just didn't need my purchase anymore, don't count against the seller. Other reasons, like new or used items sold as new, does count against the seller, because Amazon looks at the seller and says, why did you sell us this thing which is used as a new item, right? And I'll get more into that in a little bit. But so there are certain things that reflect that. Now, there is a thing on Amazon where you automatically basically get your item booted off Amazon if the return rate is above a certain percentage. It just automatically gets booted. There are certain products that have different return rates. Depends on how long your seller account has been open. It depends on how your seller inventory is doing. Some of that stuff really matters to kind of affect what's called the NCX rating, which is a percentage, and it's the negative customer experience. That's what that stands for. So that really matters. Now, in the height of our fame, when we were selling hundreds a month on Amazon, it didn't matter if we got very many returns, because if we got 2 or 3 or 5 returns, that was still well below that 7% mark, right? That was way below that. But now, because we've been so low in stock, it will only sell a couple a month, or we'll sell maybe 2 or 3 cases a month. all of a sudden, if you get a return, that's a really high percentage. And if you get 3 returns, now you're over that number and it automatically gets delisted. If your product automatically gets delisted, you can automatically relist it depending on why it got delisted. Sometimes it's just as simple as hitting a button and that just pops it back on Amazon. But if there's a customer complaint or 2 or 0, but if there's a customer complaint that is in any way one of the big ones, that I mentioned before, used item sold as new, Amazon takes your product off. You cannot sell it on Amazon until you send them the reasons why, what you're going to do to resolve the issue for the current customers, and then what you're going to do in the future to make sure that this issue isn't an issue in the future. The problem is this. Amazon has, I don't know how many thousands and thousands and thousands of sellers. So the only thing they do is they send you a form email. And then you send this big long thing back with all of your details. And then they send you another email. Either you're good to go, or the exact same form email that says we need more information. So initially when Chestnut was the first one to get delisted, I sent them back a whole bunch of details saying things like, we're going to reshoot the photographs, which we did. We're going to rewrite the language to explain to the customers that are shopping on Amazon that the items may have natural blemishes because natural leather has natural blemishes, that the item itself may have a natural wear and tear that will happen over time as you use it, because leather, depending on how you use it, depending on the conditions in which you use it, and depending on how well you take care of it, can cause, it's not perfect. It's not like plastic. It wears. So, we talked about how we were going to include that in the language. And really the biggest issue from my diagnosis, and I think this was something we actually did a test on with my brother down in Florida, where we had him buy something on Amazon and then take photos of it when it arrived, is that Amazon throws the boxes around like they're just empty pizza cartons. They do not take care of the products in their warehouse. And so we had taken some steps to mitigate this by wrapping them in plastic and using a little bit smaller boxes or whatever the right choice was at the time. We actually switched from envelopes to boxes, and we wrapped the items in plastic to help prevent that. But that didn't seem to be enough because there were still problems with them getting scratched. And so we said we started saddle soaping all of the products before they went to Amazon, which is a time-consuming process, and it's a bit of a challenge at times. But what that meant was that the products would arrive basically coming out of our shop perfectly conditioned. And because they're wrapped in plastic, they should be fine, except for I think that in the process of Amazon throwing the boxes around, the hardware pack inside it was actually like marking on the plastic and then on the leather. So we sent them a whole bunch of details that we were going to use these new boxes, these transitioned boxes that were going to be foldable, so they fold tight around the product, and then we tape them tightly so that the thing can't slide in the box at all. We're going to use bubble wrap rather than just the plastic wrap. We're going to actually wrap them in bubble wrap, and the hardware pack is going to actually be attached to the bubble wrap, so the hardware pack can't slide. So after doing 5 rounds of this with Amazon Seller Central, where they just continued to send back the same form letter where we need more information, I continued to make that response email longer and longer and longer with more and more minute details. They finally approved the product, and we finally got Chestnut back up. So Chestnut's been a relatively slow-ish seller for us in the past. Espresso sells 5 to 1. It's one of our most popular colors across the board, no matter what the product is. There's been a little bit of change in that recently. Some of the other products have kind of taken a little bit of they've started doing better, but that one's one that it's a good product. It was a good choice to start with too, because it was a big choice for us. So espresso has always been our big one. And I recently got a whole big mess of the leather in espresso to send to Amazon. And we finally got caught up on everything. So I was like, all right, guys, today we're going to make Amazon boxes just all day long. It's just everything we're going to do. That was the staff meeting at 9:15. I go downstairs to check my emails again, and there was an email from Amazon saying that Espresso Slim Cut, Murdy number 1, on Amazon has been permanently removed. Please send us please send us the details on how to fix this. Same issue. Used items sold as new. And, one of their things in their form letter is make sure you're sourcing this from an appropriate vendor. And it's like, we invented this thing. We are the only manufacturers of it. We design it. We package it. We do all of the sourcing. Yeah, it's our product. And if you go and check that against the UPC database, the GS1 database, it'll say our name as the founding creators of this. So that, first off, was just so frustrating because it's like, yeah, we can't sell the used item as new. It's new if it comes out of our shop, right? So we have been going back and forth on this, and we just updated the photos, and we're still working on updating the text. And I sent them basically the same email I sent them for Chestnut for the espresso, saying these are the steps we're taking, this is what we're doing, and we'll see how it goes. Right? We'll see if they listen to that, if they put that back up. And if they did, that would be great, because we really need it to go back up. We need it to go back up soon, and we need it to sell well, because Amazon, if we can get that platform back to where it should be, and we can really make waves on that and really move on that platform, that might be the saving grace. That might get us through this little slouch. But if not, I mean, it's like I've got all this inventory on the shelf now that I can't sell on Amazon, and it was intentionally purchased for Amazon, so I'm in trouble there. But if it's not one thing, it's the other, right? That's always the case. So I will just say, for those of you who are entrepreneurs looking to sell on Amazon, just be wary. They do not care about you. It's all about the customer for them, and that's fine, but it means that even customers who don't read particularly well are going to be taken care of, sometimes at your expense. So work really, really, really hard on making your packaging and your product photos and whatever text that they might read really clear and really specific and really detailed in such a way that they can't miss it as the customer. And for those of you customers who are purchasing on Amazon and you're just thinking to yourself, well, I'll just buy it and then return it, right? Unless there's a real problem with the purchase, please do not pick any of the options that say the product was damaged or the product came used when or sold as new when it looks like don't pick any of those ones. Tell the truth. Say I just didn't want the product anymore, or it's not going to work for my use. Those are ones that don't ding the sellers. I mean, they do cause problems for the sellers in a different way, but they don't cause the sellers' items to get delisted. So, keep that in mind and really, really be careful when you buy on Amazon, because sometimes it may seem simple to just do the returns, and the free 30-day money-back returns is a great deal. But if you purchase haphazardly and then you just, haphazardly return it, there's real ramifications to that decision. And even though you may never see it, it really does change the lives of people. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying keep bad stuff. If it's bad, it's bad, and let people know. But the other thing is that I always thought was a little frustrating with this is the customers made no effort to reach out to us. Not one. And we have all of the different methods of contacting us. If anybody comes to us and says, hey, even if they bought it on Amazon, hey, I bought this on Amazon and I have a problem with it, I'm happy to fix that. I'm happy to fix that outside of Amazon, right? We'll take care of it. We'll get you saddle soap if you want to saddle soap it yourself. You send it back to us. We'll replace the cover. We'll take care. We'll fix the problem. But that's not the easiest solution, so it's not one people often go for. So that's where, I'm hoping we can get this resolved, and I'm hoping we can get this resolved soon, because we need to be able to get this back up there and rolling. The wide cuts are all still up there, and there's a push to get pocket cuts. Actually, my production lead is pushing to get us to get pocket cuts up there, and I think that's a good idea if we can pull it off. But it's just you got to have inventory on the shelf to send it to Amazon, and that's money. And, when times are tight, you don't want to spend a lot of money on inventory that may or may not sell. So that's where I'm at, and I got to make these decisions, and that's why I get to stay up late nights. Anyway, I'll keep you guys appraised. Wow. I will keep you guys updated. I'm going to just switch the word on what is going on with that as that evolves. The best place to keep up with kind of those day-to-day changes or things that are kind of going on is our Snapchat. I actually am continuing to push that because I think it's a really good place for people to get updated. I'm actually really enjoying doing the Snapchat. I have been sharing way too much on our Snapchat that are secret things that I'm just really excited about. So check us out on Snapchat at Murdy Creative Co, no doubt. Same thing with Twitter, by the way. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to check back in on next Tuesday. I think this is going to be the Thursday episode for our next topic. And don't forget to check that subscribe button below to be sure to get the latest podcast right away. If you have any questions or concerns about your leather binder, please feel free to contact us on the main page of our website at murdycreative.co, or you can contact us via our Instagram and Facebook. You can text, email, call, direct message, all the usuals, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, but I appreciate your patience. If you think I deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow our new community. So review the product on Facebook, but you can review the podcast on whatever your podcast platform is. Word of mouth is still the best form of advertising, so please tell your friends. Also, we are posting the podcasts to YouTube now. If you've been on our Instagram, you may have noticed that, and I'm going to try to keep doing the little image thing so people can see that. And that's kind of a new evolution, and I want to use the YouTube channel for a lot of other cool things that are still coming along, so bear with me. We're going to get that a lot more cool than it is now, and eventually YouTube is going to be the kind of behind the scenes for everything, and I'm going to have Leah or somebody just constantly be videoing what's going on here, and we may do kind of a reality TV show style behind the scenes of a small business, because I think that could be actually pretty interesting, so stay tuned for that. Go subscribe to us on YouTube, Murdy Creative. Ooh, is it murdycreative.co or Murdy Creative Co? I'm not 100% sure. So just go search Murdy Creative, and I'm sure it'll come up. That being said, if you have any podcast topics you want to hear more about, send them my way. I'm always happy to engage with our growing community, and I want to give you guys what you want. If you're looking for multiple binders for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, ask about our book discounts. We do have those available, and they're wonderful. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.